going on. But for now, gotta see how it all is. And right now, MTB, 7 a.m. Have a little bit of a scrap. Already summoned Napalm used. Bird Bomb a little bit wide. Waiting for Kaizar to land one of those headshots. But having Sir Flo go right into the back line to take out the Shrike. Gone. Now it's going to be Brawl, the next target. But he's able to get out 7 a.m. Still have everyone alive. Orion doing their best to try to see if they can dodge away from some of the damage coming in from Flood. But Flood making sure they're playing very aggressively on MTB. Don't want to make it too easy since the Heart right behind them. They can go for the revive immediately onto Kaizaro.
Yep, and it looks like Swiffer is also healed up to full as well. Looks like they're maybe going to, have a second engagement maybe shortly after they've killed these mobs. We'll see if they, circle back. On the south side as well, on Enshroud, we see kind of 3 teams relatively close to each other. Already trying to get stunning onto Fuzi, but misses. FFD looking really strong armors-wise as well.
And I'm imagining this TR1 is one of our emergency sub-teams, correct?
It might be. If it's not in the ping list thingy, the scrim announcements, then it's likely to be a sub-team, yeah.
Okay, so that's like ooh, what a pull right there! Now there's some pulling in Blink, but Wukong, one of those hunters that we were kind of just touching on about some of the nerfs that are going to be coming up soon, especially when we look towards dunking, especially. And since I want to know your opinion on how the dunking mechanic is going to change, where it's going to be more based off of your health, that has you get dunked a little bit easier.
Yeah, so there's a couple of weird potential interactions. So for example, if you get dunked once, you're going to be a lower Z-axis. That could lead to other things, like if you get dunked twice, kind of what happens in that scenario. Are you lowered the same amount of kind of distance, or is it going to be based on physics where it kind of multiplies existing momentum? That's one of the things I'm not too sure about.
Yeah.
And the second thing is going to be how is it going to interact with E-platforms, because we know that emergency platforms have this kind of interaction where you can actually spike your teammates or your enemies if they're kind of slightly lower on the Z-axis, and then you use the E-plat. So.
Oh no, 7 a.m. Not in a good spot right there, just losing the fight to EV, and then on the run because they saw that they were getting surrounded by the revived MTB. They've got Kaizaro back up, so only Sir Flo trying to get out of that one, so it's going to be really difficult for them. Even looking at our sub-team here, Minato, our legend here, our French caster that we know all too well, sadly by himself now with the sub-team. A lot of teams actually got it broken up, even missed here. Kuba and Cookies trying to get away, but TR1 on the hunt. The Wadi up on the pole, looking for the Dragon Slam. Gonna get a little bit of damage back on them as they're trying to see if they can put down the wall with a blast, but it's gonna be a nice Dragon Slam back from the Wadi to take down Cookies, while Kuba onto the other side of the track, trying to survive the best he can, escaping from TR1. Barely gonna manage to do so.
Yep, and it is, he's actually got kind of a, it's not really that unconventional. We see it quite a lot on Ghost with the Sword of the Seven Suns build. But this time with Last Bite, which is maybe a slightly different variation, I guess. As well, we're looking at a nice defensive hook here by Spuro King. So it looks like all Shy have been reunited. VL got a nice little bit of poke on both sides, but everything's been healed up again. Almost not looking too healthy though for VL. He needs to get some repairs in if possible. We see TSM just below them. So maybe looking for a little engage. Hook narrowly misses.
And VL now split up, already losing their Kingpin, and now, as they were trying to get the Guardian Beast, it's going to be a Sky Shark about to blast off in the middle of everything with the Shock Blast, getting a lot of damage back onto Shy. It allows TSM to play aggressively, but couldn't find the picks. Now with second wind, it hit the target, but unfortunately, the Shy were already there. We did see off-screen, there was our first elimination. MTB going to be the first ones out of this, while Sub fight against 3LP, trying to get the Dragon Slam back on Necros, going to be the first casualty for Sub.
Yep, and now they have to make their way around again. We know Minato was just hiding in a bush not too long ago. They've got his team back up, and one's already died again. Nyos and Necros also only level 10s. I'm sorry, level 9s. It's going to be difficult for them to have a kind of extended bit of power with the level 10 ulti. Feastlord is also popped by Libra at the last second onto Wody. He's managed to make his way out relatively unscathed.
Wow, I'm actually a little surprised by that one. Thought there would be a little bit more damage done to him, especially with the armor being in the state that it had been, but they decided not to follow up on that one, instead letting him go, and now go down south, and we see a couple of our teams, the Shy being one of them, that's been in constant battle, this time against 2 new teams, FFD and NTU, surrounding their position while the Shy are trying to get in a better spot of the circle, not really want to be on that little island and have to deal with so many teams around their position.
Yeah, and Hachi's, maybe trying to force NTU kind of to defend their bonfire, which he's successfully done, and that does allow Shy kind of a safe exit point now onto their train tracks. as we see it kind of slowly kind of roll in.
Right.
I did see a team eliminated on the right hand side. I didn't see which team it was, but I did hear it. So.
It was Sub Team and Mist both getting eliminated.
Ooh.
Pretty much in 2 separate fights. So they weren't even in the same fight. 7 a.m. I believe eliminated Mist. I did not see who's eliminated Sub, but it was another fight that was going on elsewhere. So 2 more of our teams now gone. We're seeing how everyone is kind of moving around the map and continuing to hone in towards the central part of the breach, right around Prisma Falls. But being cross-country, we're going to go on quite the journeys momentarily.
Yeah, exactly. Going to get that. There's air miles in for sure. NTU, we also saw, did take one of the souls as well.
Mm-hmm.
And, they're looking to have a little mini engagement with Shy for some of those day 4 mob resets. But it doesn't look like it's going to be too engaging right now. It's not too involved at the minute. But on the top side, it looks like it might be going crazy.
Oh. TR1 losing a pretty bad fight there. The Wadi going to be the only one getting out of that one as EV take control. They're going to be powerful in the moment, and we see Tetraform used down south by 3LP to try to fight against 7 a.m. But 7 a.m. were able to make a trade of 1-for-1, but they got a lot of damage onto their Brawl, barely holding on with the Dragon Slam to take down Brawl. Leaves just pulled, trying to fight against the 2. Purple looking to help out and make sure they can get the revive on a Who Dis for Revel. Now they can re-engage. 1v3, the punch into the wall. Elimination on a 7 a.m.
And they also have Immorius right on top of them as well once they recover some health and stuff like that. And Circle's on them too, which is really nice. It's going to be quite a journey, as you mentioned not too long ago, for FFD and NTU to kind of make it upwards. FFD managed to maintain the arms as well, looking pretty strong with double squid and Isocrons, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, Air Blaster and Vive Infuser for Dracos. Let's see if there's anything else spicy going on. Thunderbolt, Harmonic Edge, double Ardent Songbow, Sunweaver, Refractor.
Yeah, nothing too spicy just yet. Pretty much kind of what we're getting used to now. Now that players are getting more used to the items and what we're seeing the standardization when it comes to item builds and comes to how players are approaching it.
Exactly. And Shy, as you mentioned, Shy have been around so many different POIs. They've rotated consistently, and they've managed to maintain armors and health, throughout all of these kind of random engagements that they've had. And looks like 3LP are looking to apply a bit of pressure. Just south side, he's looking at NTU. Nice R&B stun, hitting 2 members of Shy. Actually temporarily split. Can he take the pad? Does manage to make his way to the north side. Fun scenario.
But it is. Yeah. Sorry, I'm starting to get a little bit of lag on my side. So if you want to keep, if there's any more fights, I'm getting a slideshow, so I'm trying to see if I can reset.
No worries. I can change it to 720 for the next game as well.
Yeah, we might have to, because it just started. It was doing well for a while, and then all of a sudden, just in the last minute, it just started getting.
No worries, all good.
Okay, let's see.
Go stop pickup for Purple. Still, he actually got good use of it in that last fight as well.
Here we go. Oh, there we go. Now it's gotten back to normal. Okay.
Wicked. Did you change the servers, by the way?
Yeah, I did change the servers. Okay. So that's why I was more surprised, and it hadn't been acting up the whole time, just for some reason within the last minute. But it does seem like we got it stabilized now. We kind of look at how Shy are now chasing down NTU, chasing them all the way onto the train tracks, but no bullet trains. Not going to be too much of a threat. The bigger threat is going to be this cross-country storm. We see how fast it can move, really force these teams to have to hike across the map and where they need to reposition themselves. But over in the outpost, it is going to be an all-out brawl on the tracks. Hachi tried to get the engage and they try to see if they can crash to back some damage, but now with the blast back, they've got them locked down on the tracks. But even in the outpost, it seems that NTU can heal themselves back up and are going to be fine for now against the Shy.
Yep, and that LMB was so perfectly timed by Kalangi to provide enough breathing room for NTU to kind of stabilize, because Shy were looking to pounce really aggressively. We did see Sproking kind of walking up those train tracks and then get battered away, so that was a really nice play there. On the same side, at the same time, we're looking at a massive fire and hot. Nice punch by Crouch. Purple last member for 3LP.
Great punch from Crouch to make sure there wasn't that revive that could have possibly turned it around for 3LP. Leaves just Purple to escape, while TSM we saw come in from the south. Dragon Slam going to connect. They got the gold armors, but they need to make sure they can take him down. Well, they got the revive on the Mr. IC. EV will start to path up north, following the track of the storm.
Yep, and Pep was, been around watching a couple of different teams, with all 3 members. Oh, he's been knocked in the car temporarily. R&B gets the car explosion.
Yeah, but Purple surviving. That's the bigger thing to me. It seemed like it could have been devastating for him, but he makes it out alive, while NTU coming from the south out of that outpost we had seen just a moment ago, getting themselves in a better spot for the potential circle. But every team still following the trajectory, making sure But they are on that path beforehand, because if they're not, you can look at teams like down south, Purple, trying to get the attention of the Shy with the blast off onto Purple.
Ooh.
Couldn't avoid forever. Finally, they will fall while on the tracks. NTU. So Kalongi maybe not paying attention. Finally did pay attention, so the train not going to collect its first victim of the day.
Oh, and a nice hook. Dunk as well. Chain CC, there we go. There's no way that Fuzu's going to make it out of this. There's no way. That's illegal. Oh,
wow.
My God. one
Fuzu.
HP.
Making it out. Now the nuke launched at TSM. EV came in from the north. So FFD survived. Fuzu healing back up the health that they had lost in that previous fight, and they might even be able to look for a possible revive onto Fate Strikes elsewhere.
Yeah, I think they were thinking of doing hot, but then they just stepped in, they dipped their toes into the zone. It was like, whoa, that's way too much damage. They even flick over to the box, but I think Shy have heard that now. Yasser's looking to do a little bit of poke. He's now in possession of Dread's Throw as well, which is going to make it extra spicy.
Make it a little bit easier, especially when it comes to locking down targets. If you can use it well when it's across country, it's always funny to watch the stun that you can get. Keep them outside in the storm as we see another fight. Levi gonna unfortunately get caught out there. TSM taking control of the circle for now, while EV immediately path up to that revive beacon.
Yep. Oh, and you see a bomb to try and grief EV potentially, but they have made their way out, maybe completely separated. TSM are also looking to pounce, and everyone's kind of just temporarily disbanded. Ice also looking for a little bonfire steal right at the end on the top side. I guess this is a neutral one, I guess. Not necessarily a steal, but either way.
Yeah, unfortunately couldn't quite get it, so our 5 teams still left here. A couple of them down a member, like we see here for FFD. We know EV just got the revive off themselves, so they're going to be back up to full. Seeing how they want to path around everything and where they want to position themselves is going to be key, especially as the storm starts moving, and I'm getting, unfortunately, the lag again.
No worries. So it looks like FFD are looking to rotate fully around the south side, but Shy are potentially kind of mirroring this movement. They've seen it and kind of predicted it correctly. Nice little stun there, just potentially allow Fuzu to live. Actually trying to, get some cheese kills or dunk potentially onto Fuzu. Sprokane's going to seal the deal. The E-plat is there though, perfectly timed. And then LMB flurry is sent by Fuzu, hooked back again by Sprokane. Dashes away. Hopefully he can make it out. Looks like Shy temporarily stopped the pressure, but Yas is there for the reinforcements right at the end with the fuselage.
Whoa, wait,
Fuzu still managing to escape. Oh my God.
Dracos took down Sprokane on the other side. Fuzu still alive. How are you doing this, man? The Krista finally to fall. It took forever for them to actually get that kill, but because of the heroics of Fuzu, Sprokane was actually toppled. FFD are not out of this game just yet.
Yeah, but now we are seeing a res by Dracos on the bottom left-hand side. No one is around him. This is like a perfect opportunity for them to kind of stabilize. They'll likely have no res sickness before the next fight happens as well. Ice potentially getting caught out here by NTU.
That's right, see, I don't really see a good way to get out of this one. Kept outside in the storm. Last one for EV. Elimination. As we saw the other members of EV taken down by the Shy.
Yep, and we are seeing Shy back as a full 3-man. They're looking really healthy right now with the armors as well. Picked up a couple more kills. We're looking at, 9 kills for them on the top side. TSM, 9 kills as well. Is it 9 kills for everyone? No, it's 3 for FFD. Okay, they've been playing relatively reserved in comparison.
Yeah, NTU, not at the 9 kills either, so not quite there, but
yeah,
always can, because look at that armor situation they have. Luca already going aggressively on NTU, and they push them over the abyss. But keep in mind that the Shy's going to be right behind them. They've lost Luca. Luca might be able to get revived. They got the crowd for Little Me. Huge Dragon Slam, but the pull onto the Wisp. Luca not going to have an easy way back into this game. Sprokane wants to make sure they take down Luca, but the Tetra is fallen. TSM lose 1 player, but they still got the crown. But we see barely any health left. Phantom trying to survive, but then FFD might play heroics for NTU until the Grabby Squid comes in. They've got Kalungi back in the game. Dragon Slam from 2 angles lands onto Oath. Damage there. They try to pull back. Phantom survives, but now the crown. They're trying to make sure the Dragon Slam will take down Phantom. While NTU have won. No more. Actually, it's going to be the turnaround from Yasser to make sure they take down NTU only to Kolungi. While they try to go for the Grabby Squid onto the other side, try to get away. Kolungi chased down by the Shy. Finally finished off.
Oh, you had the spicy bomb tech there with the squid as well. You just went Mach 10 for a couple of seconds there, but Shy did catch him right at the end. And 8 seconds left, roughly, for TSM to get their 3rd member back, to get Luca back. Hopefully that's going to be possible as we look at Shy. Looking to rotate around just when Luca gets back with no armors now. They've got the fan perfectly timed going down to the south side. They're going to be able to evade the wrath of Shy. Armor's looking tasty. Fate gets a nice little TP steal onto Hachi, but he's going to make his way out of this one.
Well, what a play there from TSM. I loved how they put down the big fan to make sure that no one could get around him. They had to cut down all those trees, and without the Wukongs on a lot of these teams, they couldn't get over there easily to make sure that that crown pop didn't go off. And then the great escape from TSM to make it out alive. Our 3 remaining teams, the Shies, TSM, and FFD. FFD, I gotta say, right now, they are my favorites just because how many times they've survived. Like, Fuzu has made some illegal plays in this game on Krista.
Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe it's just got the aura, you know, like as we saw, you know, way back in pre 1.0, you know, there's insane teams would just, you know, people would just be scared, you know, potentially run away. Maybe Fuzu's got it as well. Looks like Luca's having a little dance with Yasuo as well, as FFD have kind of, you know, slowly walked down. I think that was anywhere but here, actually. TP relatively close to TSM there, but they've made their way kind of into the circle now. Shy are on the edge as well. No solid ground. Maybe they've got some E-plats in their inventory to kind of assist with this kind of abyss zone temporarily.
Oh, great dodge! Oh. Great dodge with the blink back there to get away from the singularity out of Fate Strikes, who has no health. Dragon Slam to take down Fuzu. That's how you get rid of the one that lives. You make sure you dunk him immediately. Well, swap attempted. Another dunk for blink. Only Draco's left. FFD try to crash the party, try to see if they can get onto the other side of the circle, but there are no crowns. There's no respawn beacon. Not much hope for Draco's outside of a fight there with another slam. Blink cannot miss with these Dragon Slams.
Oh my god, that is just something you don't want to happen to you. And especially with someone like Hachi's, you know, very experienced character. I mean, he just wanted to send it felt like, and he did pay the price, you know, with his life there. Hook narrowly misses R&B as well. Hurricane trying to make his way down to the south side. Looks like he's going to be able to do it, but the stuns are going to be coming in flurries now by as TSM, you know, with basically like a triple stun comp.
Oh,
they're going to be a cooldown if they rotate it correctly.
That was a nice Tetraform, as we still see that grabby out of Hurricane into the jet stream with the E-plat, but look on the other side. Crown picked up. Can they pull off the miracle? Missing the slam that time, but the slam will bring back in FFD, who find it. Now they got to fight against the gold armor. They look for another slam, but they're going to have the 6 monkey strike going in all directions. Singularity makes it so that TSM don't want to play aggressively, even with the damage on the Fate Strikes on the other side. He's got a shield. Couldn't swap in time with the back line. They're going to focus on them. They take out Fuzu. Just the monkey left. They try to put down the Dredge Charge, try to get some damage back onto them, but it's only Draco's alive. No crown this time. A nice slam pushed into the storm. The monkey, they have him. They look for him everywhere, but Draco somehow is able to get out for so damn long with this Monkey King. He's looking for one more pull, one more slam, but it's a slam from Little Meep to secure victory.
Very cleanly and precisely performed by TSM. Yeah, I'm not really sure about the in by Hachi. I feel like they had a good position, and there was like so many different angles they could have taken. You know, if they had a pad, they could have used that instead, for example, to kind of avoid the spike kite. You know, they could have maybe rotated around the north side and then went around, but the direct in against 3 spikers is never the angle, especially against the Wukong on a ledge.
Yeah, exactly. So, but huge props over to Draco's for making that a lot closer than it really should have been right at the end. Getting a perfect slam, make sure that they kind of got back into the game momentarily. It almost seemed like they might have something, but then you look at the armors of TSM, you're like, yeah, this is going to be nigh impossible for them to actually win.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I'm going to try to set up the stream together now.
Oh, I appreciate you, dude.
Yeah. Well, no, I appreciate you. Got it. Thanks for having this all, you know, getting this all situated. The only thing is maybe it's so weird because it ended up working better towards the end of the game there with without lag. I don't know why. Just sometimes it's just like, nope, I'm gonna lag now.
Oh yeah, would you like me to change it to 720p just to see if it smooths things out a bit?
Yeah, let's switch to 720 just to see. There you are.
There we go.
Perfect. That's won't be quite as sorry everybody watching. It won't be quite as nice. I did get a sub from YouTube. So someone subbed during the middle of that game.
Ooh, nice.
I wanted to give them a shout out. 3Link, I think, or 3Ink, I think is their name. So thank you so much, because I'm doing the multi-stream, so it's actually kind of fun trying this out, you know?
Yeah, man. Definitely got to get into YouTubers.
Someone's telling me that the Moonlit Battlegrounds Training Grounds games on Monday, where they had some good train kills, and I'm so sad whenever I miss the train kills. Everyone knows me and my train. It's like
awesome.
my favorite thing in the world. Okay, that's right. That's what I'm doing. Trying to get that set up, and there we go.
A journey to finish.
No.
Thank you.
You are the drop leader.
Perfect. Join call. Start share. Got it. There we go. Always have to make sure we get these all set up for us. All right. Perfect. Hopefully got it all set up for everybody so we can share a chat and enjoy some games with each other.
Yep.
And
I just found out, sorry, that there's going to be bans after game 2, not even game 3. So
so it's it's a 2-2. So it's a bans after 2, game 2 and 4 then. That's probably. I'm
not sure. I don't know if it's like that, or maybe it's just I think 4 bans straight at game 2. I don't know because the sample size is quite small then.
Well, that's usually what Spro likes to do in Spurs tournaments. Delphi, why are you woofing? My dog started woofing for no. She's not even getting up. You're being lazy.
It's a guest cast, man. We got.
She's literally laying on the couch just woofing. I'm like,
oh.
Why are you woofing? Anyways, but that's usually how Spro likes to do it. Is we'll do it where it's 2 bans after game 2, then 2 more bans after game 4. So it's like the 2 most two most played after 2 and 4 are the ones that are taken out.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right. So game 2, we're looking at some armors on Imhotech. We know that Aiden's back, so then maybe it's going to be a Cold Fang rush for 3LP.
Oh, yeah.
That's the typical kind of macro strat that we've always seen. We're seeing potentially 3 teams that are kind of not super dispersing on Fragile. I don't know if there's a day 1 boss or they're just kind of fighting for the relic shop after they get their mobs killed and some money. Oh, there we go. So I can't see obviously with zooming in, unfortunately. So that's maybe you can recall which icon that is. Is that teleportation? I could be wrong.
I'll be honest. I can't see because for some reason it's the pic. I'm seeing more pixels than I am seeing a screen. So.
Okay. I think it was teleportation, but we'll see if Necros is jumping around the map.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Infinity. Which one is Infinity at OC? I can't recall the names. Yeah, is it the one with the infinite mana?
I think Infinity is infinite mana. Yeah. Okay, OC just confirmed it right there.
Nice stuff.
Why is it being all glitchy again? We lowered the thingy. It should be better now.
Yeah, we're on 720 now.
I don't know, but it's for some reason actually just as bad, if not worse, than it was on
okay,
1080.
I can try upping it again if you'd like.
Let's see if we can get into game. It could also be maybe just as you get into game, you know how sometimes there's so much loading up
stabilizes.
that it needs to stabilize on, especially like sending it out. So let's let it stabilize first and see if that's the case. Because right now we do see that EV and TU and a little bit of a stare down up in the north, but not actually going to go for the full fight. Wait to see a couple of possible fights elsewhere. I think it was Mist and FFD over in Imhotech and Shards of Fate that had a little bit of a battle, and we did see only the Shy actually being the team going down for Cold Fang.
Surprising, actually. I think they had a little bit of a, or maybe 3LP, you know, they kind of crossed the eyes with each other, but nothing else kind of brewed from their, you know, kind of southwards fight. And it looks like FFD have got all members back already. They're temporarily split. MST are looking relatively healthy on armors as well, so it's looking really good.
Yeah, everything's pretty standard as we'd expect, you know, early game.
Exactly.
A couple skirmishes here and there, but nothing too extreme. Maybe. Oh, yeah, as we did see. Yes, sir. Might have DC'd.
Yeah, he's DC'd.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just checking if we want to reset because it's already been a little bit into the game. Can we restart if possible? Hachi, do you have a sub there, bro?
Yeah. If they have a sub, I think we could, but that would also depend on the other teams too, on what their decision is.
The game's like a little bit. It's kind of in right now, you know.
Yeah, exactly. If it was like the very beginning of the game, like not a couple minutes in, it would be different. But I always feel bad when you have a DC like that, though. It is tragic.
Yeah. You also have Gecko as well. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I normally have like a grace period of like at least a minute, but everyone's already pretty much farmed. You know, got some level 7s to do, man.
Exactly. That's kind of my thought process too. It's because day 1, I would consider not necessarily like it has to be day 2 when you can't that's the. And I would say a couple minutes in because usually there's a couple farming things, and then you also get some ideas of where people want to drop and whatnot.
Yeah.
So it is a little awkward when it comes to this, but I'll let you guys make the call. That's definitely up to the players.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just make the call this time, but we might need a bit more stricter ruling, so, you know. I don't want to just be like arbitrarily allowing or not allowing people in, but my gut just telling me like it feels like it's a bit too long, you know?
Yeah.
Either way, TSM have level 7s, tier 1. Wody does make it out successfully. Zugzwang also in the wind tunnels, likely to make his way into Cobra. We are looking at maybe 2 or 3 teams also assimilating there as well. MST with all, full armors, FFD, Fate Strikes manages to make his way out as well, unscathed, as well as Dracos. Nice stuff.
I like that from Fate. Just getting a little bit of vision inside of Kobayashi so he knows who's there if they can enter or not. We go all the way over towards Gridlock and we see, oh, not Gridlock, towards the Hollows, and we see a bit of a possible fight that almost was breaking out between EV. But EV and Sub, but not actually going to happen too much, as we do see another fight that is happening. MTB, TSM. MTB losing San, while the rest of MTB might be able to get on that respawn beacon immediately, but is it going to be counteracted by TSM, the team that did take game 1? Kaizaro, ooh, grabby squid here on strike. Not necessarily what I'm used to seeing here for a strike, and now in a bad spot. Try to get away into the jet stream. Throwing out some of those shots, getting a little bit of damage back onto Blink. But the pull, make sure there's no escape there for the strike. Another kick flip away back into the jet stream. Maybe missed. Might save the life of the sniper because they intervene. It's going to be the slam back. Gold armor going to be what is noticed here by TSM. They would love to take that away from this, but not going to be able to do so, while Kaizaro does manage an escape.
Yep, a nice little bit of intervening there by MST. They probably saw the audio cues and wanted to, maybe capitalize on someone who'd used their cooldowns, but they weren't successful, unfortunately. But Gorshachek might be, and actually misses his slam narrowly. The squid does connect very nicely, but Fuzu, I guess he's, bathed in butter or something. He's just slipping through everything, it seems like, this game.
Yeah, I don't know.
Couple of games, let's say.
I don't know how he's managing it over and over again, just every single time somehow getting away from what seems like certain death as we go all the way over towards the yearbook, the codex that we were talking about before is going to be picked up by 3LP, who already got the pick initially onto MST. You can see the gold armor that Aiden stole away. Cookies and Sinoid trying to make sure they can cover each other's retreats, but 2v3 is going to be rough, especially with Aiden chasing the Shiv, have gold armor, and now the punt back onto 3LP, making it impossible for them to actually continue that chase easily onto Mist.
Yeah, but we're looking at 3 teams potentially converging at NTU, VL, and just below them it is going to be MTB. They got the res successfully, which is pretty nice. And they just farmed up some mobs as well to get an extra bit of money. I think everyone is double reliced up as well. It's going to be, it's nice and healthy to see that, no one's, well, apart from Numa actually, but, apart from that, it's pretty healthy.
And we're still, now we go from a game 1 where it was right in the center for our circle, right around the heart. Now we are going towards the perimeter. Going all the way out to the edges of Frag Isle and Dawn Caps for this game. And with unstable portals can make it really interesting as we see a possible fight here where it could be intervened by NTU. They have the sandwich on a VL. It is going to be the swap attempted. Now they've already got the Fusillade used. It's going to be the Abyssal Breaker with the Chilling Finale. Trying to see if they're going to lock him down. Now they're going to be able to move that away. They got damage. They take it out. VL absolutely crushed between the weight of 2 teams. While 3LP, they might fourth party the third party, but NTU, they saw that already. They're able to mount a defense. They try to see if they can swap away. The Sky Shark punting back Hoodis, but right on top of Phantom makes it impossible for them to get away easily. And even with an anomaly, they could chase this onto the Broken Shield Oath. We see the fights happening all across the breach, even here for 7 a.m. losing a fight, and then TSM showing up onto the sub team who were able to beat 7 a.m. initially, but the pull did not grab the members it needed to. Dragon Slam attempted, not going to be slammed back onto sub.
Yep, we are looking at Phase Walking, and the other one is Combustion. On the south side as well as another fight transpiring. Cookies finds Kazaro, like one last member, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, about to die. San is MTB out 11th place. On the top right side, we're looking at, unfortunately, I know that Yasser's had internet issues, not able to reconnect, so Shy playing, the ultra slow game here, because they're only 2-man. Triffer's already found Minato as well. So that's a nice little pickup there. TSM have rotated around a couple of different biomes as well, so they're probably looking for their next kill at some point.
I feel bad for Sub.
Rose also had issues. I'm not really sure what's going on there. I saw his, saw him super in the abyss there temporarily.
Yeah, not sure either, but we'll have to catch up on that as we see FFD fight against 3LP. Looking for a Dragon Slam. Nice dodge with the 6 Monkey Strike. Trying to get away. Purple has that revive onto Hoodis. Tetra will be back up in the fight, but we look at elsewhere. I was going to say that Sub, I felt a little bit bad for them. They had beaten 7 a.m., but then they got sandwiched, and then they almost got eliminated because they did lose Minato, but now they've gotten themselves back on their feet, but they still got to deal with 7 a.m., another team that was able to get back on their feet, and we look at how many teams are already moving around Frag Isle. Well, we go all the way up into the north at Dawn Caps NTU. battered and bruised. EV trying to make sure that Numa's not going to get out of this one easily. Another swap attempted, trying to defend, but couldn't hop on the Sky Shark in time with the crown. So instead, it's going to be the one escaping.
I mean, there is a potential res on the right-hand side, but Sub might be looking to gatekeep this one. But they also have their eyes on the Soul as well as Seven AM and Shy that we do see on the right-hand side. They've actually gone off their E-plat temporarily. Maybe they can hop on the car again, but that's about to run out of fuel as well, so that's going to become even more problematic for them.
There it goes.
As it just dropped down.
Yeah, we'll go down all the way to the Abyss. And like we're getting in chat, OC15, I don't know how many E-plats they've got in the inventory, but we'll find out momentarily. With EV and 3LP staring one another down, but neither of them going for the full fight. The Shy still have a couple more E-plats because I see them still out there over the Abyss, while the Souls are going to be attempted. A nuke sent out and a long-range pull, even with the big fan to get the slam back on a Mouncer. With Sub on the other side, trying to intervene. But the Soul already collected by TSM. I think actually they were able to secure that for themselves, while Minato trying to play aggressively. Overkill rounds. Not going to be able to find the target onto Luca, while on the other side, it's going to be the two left members of Sub dealing with TSM. While NTU only down to Phantom has been for some time, and a crown from Fold will make sure they can bring back the rest of the team, while Hachi a little bit late on trying to intervene to bring back up their own crown play.
Yeah, but I'm wondering how many E-pats they do. Never mind, Spurky gets a dunk. Actually gets a nice ulti as well. Maybe he can kill Monster. Actually,
no way!
One member left now for 7 AM.
Wow, they get the crown stolen away, and then they lose the two players to the unknown factor of Shy out in the Abyss. They have been the lords of that domain for quite some time. Even if they don't have Yasser, it seems like those two players, Hachi and Sprokin alone, are fearsome enough.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like Lucas also found one member of Sub as well. I think it was Nias in this instance. And now they have to scurry around the majority of these teams as they are kind of edge keeping. We're also looking at day before mod resets. Which nice little spike there right there by Kuba.
Nice. I'm finding a great arcane railgun to be able to connect, get themselves a nice little spike, and set themselves up in a decent spot. We still have a lot of teams left here going in to day 4. About halfway through it, and one of our teams that's down to one player left. Their flow here for 7 AM, trying to fight against Hachi, but eventually will fall, ran out of heat. And so another team down to the Abyss as we see another fight here for Sub. Only Minato was able to escape with their life, and Sub down to one player, and then we see that TR1 taken out on a different side of the fight.
Yeah, there's so many stragglers, and surprisingly, we're seeing Shy just getting that perfect clean 2v3 with no deaths basically. If they had Yasuo, it would have been even easier, but they didn't even need him in that scenario. So they're always ever ready to play those long Abyss games and not glide when it's not necessary. Because that did make that was one of the reasons why I felt 7 AM had that kind of difficult fight where they lost someone at least. So
I'm kind of just looking elsewhere and looking at where everyone's playing. I love that Spro is using all of those death boxes out there that they've created with the E-plants. Kind of give them those emergency platforms themselves, and unfortunately for Minato right there, got Dragon Slam back, and then the Tetra trying to blast him back as well. But it is going to be the Rock Blast on each side, trying to set up the Tetra form with a nice slam from the Dragon Slam onto Blink. But Blink could get revived. Luca hopping onto the Wisp, but the pull over the Abyss. Then a different slam on the other side is going to take down Who Dis. 2v2, 3LP, TSM. TSM, they won the previous game. They're trying to revive Blink, but it's going to be the pushback onto Luca. Cannot get the Wisp. Instead, it's going to be Little Meep to try with the Slug Wave. 6 Monkey Strike, trying to go into separate directions. 3LP will survive, but it is going to be by the skin of their teeth.
Oh, that was really insanely done by both teams. Very masterfully done, let's say. But they are going to make it away. Maybe a box res attempt that's likely going to be successful. There's no one really around them. We are looking at a res attempt by 3LP as well to get back Who Dis. Rewind still in Ignis' possession as well.
All right, so getting themselves back in the game. Not quite out of this one just yet. But we just got to keep our eyes on how teams are moving around and what they're really going to be looking for. Because right now, Mist in a huge fight against EV. Cookie's already down, and they've set up the walls, but how do they escape past that? They grab the Wisp, and then it's going to blast up into the back line, but a little bit too far for Crouch. He's puntered. He's getting too much damage there, and he is kept away from the rest of mid.
That is really unfortunate for them there, and it's going to be really hard for them to stabilize as well, as we do see TSM kind of chilling on the bottom right, getting their final shot in. They're going to hear those audio cues from EV, so they're likely going to be able to pounce very soon, unless Ice can get away with the shift level 4 or something along those lines. Oh, never mind. A hook disconnect and a stun.
Oh.
Another stun. Chain stun. Levi's completely toast.
Yeah, poor Levi on that one. Just the chain dunk after dunk after dunk, and kind of go into what you're talking about a little bit earlier when we look at how dunks are going to be changed later on. Is it going to be one of those things where they kind of compile upon one another, where you can build them up and get momentum, or not? Well, it remains to be seen, but another thing that remains to be seen right here is Hudis trying to go for the engage on the EV, who had just gotten the revive, but they had those rings to get to safety. Or is it safety because TSM were already there and they hit them with a rock to the face, and now they're punting more damage into the back line, so they take down EV so quickly.
Yep, and it looks like maybe Yas is reconnected, or Hachi's trying something there, but I don't know if he can get him back in this scenario. Or we flick back down onto 3LP versus TSM. Looks like Meep just find who this. Very unfortunate start of the fight. Looks like a massive Wukong ulti plus RMB combo. Oh, Luca!
Hit by the nuke, sent at them by Miss. Volcanic Crusher from Cookies will take down Little Meep, and then the Shy from the north. They try to engage, but Rokane and Hachi a little bit late on the battle. Miss have already won. They've claimed the victories. They've claimed the souls, and now they've got the E-plat, but it's going to be a pull. Salam! Rokane keeping him alive. Now Hachi's the next one to fall. Well, Miss are having two that can still fight against Rokane. Rokane was able to get the E-plat up north, but no longer has that respawn beacon way up in the north that they can use.
Yep, and TSM, we do see Blink with their Crown. Hudis looking to chase this one, as well as Aiden from the right-hand side. Looks like a Blink is going to be a toast, unless he can get over this wall potentially.
Oh,
no. Last second. Chain stunned. Damage is going all in his direction. TSM are outed 5th place.
And so now our first place team of game 1 eliminated here, 5th in game 2. 4 teams remain. Mist, FFD, Shy, and 3LP. And Shy, despite being down, yes sir, they have been playing the rat game. They've been able to hold on for quite some time. We didn't see if yes sir was brought back up or not, because we didn't really get to see him. It doesn't really matter. Hachi and Sprokane, even with only 2 players, it's not like they've been playing that passively. They've been finding some picks. They've been making sure they're getting kills on the board.
Yep, and there is a crown that's, organically been FedExed by the Theorycraft gods, it looks like, so he's ready to pick that up and maybe get Hachi back when he finds an opportune moment. Once that circle just closes in, it is going to be quite a long walk for him, though, and most of the territory on the right-hand side is already covered by teams, so hopefully just maybe slither down the south side before FFD kind of notice him. Right. They've also double-chunkered up this island to make it a little bit more, secure. As we're looking at on the top side, Aiden looking to kind of maybe gather some information or maybe do a little bit of poke onto MST.
I think that's the only problem for Sprokane, is that while he's gifted the crown, he's not gifted the circle at the same time. So his movement is going to be noticed. But he is going to go for a Deathbox revive. Will Miss try to peel back? They've already sent Kuba to intervene with some napalm. Sprokane not going to get the easy time to revive the teammates. And now, no easy time to get out of this one with the Volcanic Crusher onto his position. Rock Blast as well with the Tetra Form. But the Magma Balls do not connect onto Sprokane to get the dunk onto him. So he has that long path he can still take to get into the circle while we have the fight in the circle. A lot of damage onto FFD. A nice use of the E-Plat now, trying to get away from the 6 Monkey Strike. They're trying to see what they can get. Dracos onto the pole, using the Volcanic Crusher onto 2. It's going to get a lot of damage onto them. But now Hudis waiting for the Dragon Slam out of purple. The Face Strikes has already taken out Hudis. And now Fuzu trying to survive, but he's taken down 1 for 1. The Wisp still there. FFD can revive. Well, we see that Miss now on the other side. They can intervene. There's going to be another swap attempted as they got themselves locked in this corridor. Look at Sprokane. 30 seconds remaining on the clock. Face Strikes is gone. Fuzu barely alive. They've got the Grabby Squid connecting onto 1. And now Purple on the pole, trying to see what he can do. While they still have Dracos doing the same as he's looking for a Dragon Slam onto anybody. Doesn't get the damage onto them. And now with barely any health onto FFD, how do they escape? There's no platform left for them. It's only Dracos left. A Volcanic Crusher barely going wide from Hudis. Will Miss intervene. 3LP will have the fight against them, getting themselves onto that little bit of a land bridge while Purple tries to see if he can get back to the island they held before. Dracos was taken down by Sprokane. That means the Shry are back in the game. But yes, sir, is not here. It's just the 2, Hachi and Sprokane, alive.
Yep, and if they win this one, it's going to be, one of those bragging rights that you can use forever and ever. To win in a scrim block as just a 2-man, the whole game is not something to, shy out on. That's super crazy. And Cookies on super low HP, getting ulted by Zero to try and, keep him surviving in this scenario. Does make it out of this one. MST to make the way into the island. Hachi looking for the ulti, gets so much damage onto Cookies,
Hachi,
but it's been returned in flurry. Hachi's already down now. It is back to Sprokane and Aiden picking up a crown, maybe respectively each.
Yeah, we'll see right here. Sprokane might just go for the play onto Aiden's crown instead. Just take him out.
Of course, there's another crown there.
Oh my goodness, Sprokane is being gifted so much on this one. There's literally crown after crown and looking for another play while Aiden, a minute on the timer, has to fight against 3, tries to blink away. Understanding it's going to be risky against Mist, especially with the gold armor. Gravity Squid with the Volcanic Crusher and the Rock Blast to try to see if it can cut off the retreat for Aiden. Aiden, no escape. I don't see a way out of this one. He's about to overheat, and they notice this. Mist, put it down. No, Aiden! He found it at the last possible moment with the Dragon Slam on Akuba, who tries to get back. They're looking for the Deathbox revive, but Cookies has to use the Volcanic Crusher while they're up on the pole, looking for the Dragon Slam on Akuba, taking him down. Only Cookies is left, and Sprokane still has that crown to play with, and same with Cookies, who picks it up right where Sprokane is. But do they realize that Sprokane is hiding behind him as a tree? Trying to make sure, yes, he does. Now with the Slug Wave, Cookies takes a little bit of damage from Sprokane, but the 1v1 duel, it should be interrupted as 3LP back in the game off the heroics of Aiden. Cookies, you gotta do the same. Puts down the Rock Blast, looking for any bit of damage, but now surrounded by 3LP members. It is not looking too good for this lone Tetra against the world, putting down Tetra form. The dunk though! Guess what? Mist, they get their own play against Aiden, the team that just had gotten back off of their own heroics, and now it's Mist who are beating them, pummeling them. Only have purple left. He's got the Wukong, tries to avoid all the damage, but he has to put down the E-plat barely to get out alive.
And I can't believe it. Another crown has been donated to Sprokane. So I know that he's got some sort of, he's got stonks in Theorycraft. He must have. Pebble trying to make his way down to the left-hand side. He's pretty damaged. Half HP. R&B does not get any connection. Squid narrowly misses. Cookie looking for a slam. Does not get any connection either. R&B's keep being sent by Purple. No. He's managed to get the extra bit of survivability that he needs. Pretty much.
Purple.
Down to the right side. Out of fuel, unfortunately. Out of gusto. That is 3LP out. That is Sprokane now. Last alive. Can he maybe pick up the crown? Or are they going to check for this tree?
Oh, no, they're defending it. Yep, look at that. They were defending the crown. Understanding the Sprokane was probably somewhere around and making sure that he has kept away Tetraform, putting up the wall. It's a long retreat to try to get away. Punted into the storm, and it is starting to rain hell onto Sprokane. You did a good job making it a second, but Mist deserved the victory.
Man, that's a very nice game. The spikes in the end game were super crazy there. I cannot believe Aiden got that last kill onto Sinoid. Just brought them back in the game. Oh my god.
Woo! Yeah, what a game there. What a game, not gonna lie. Mist. The fact that 3LP, they got the dunk to bring themselves back into the game off of Aiden, and then Cookies getting another dunk back onto them to make sure they get back into the game and find victory. Wild, wild circumstances.
Yeah.
Whew. And the players are saying that too many sub teams today. So maybe should have canceled scrims. I don't know. I feel like even if you have sub teams, that there is value into scrims. That, like, being able to kind of play out some of these games, figure out what, because it's slightly higher in terms of skill when it comes to like even these games with sub teams than it is when you have just regular solo queue when you're by yourself. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
So that's my only thing I'll say. For the players out there that are kind of like debating whether or not they should have canceled the merit, I think there is still value. Is it as high a value as other scrims? No, but it's still not necessarily bad to learn a lot of these things, and I continually practice upon like different calls, because you're still playing with players of really high caliber. It's not like you're playing with, you know, if it's pugs, that's one thing. Like if you're playing with someone like me, that is one thing. You're not gonna get too much value out of a game like that, but you're still gonna get value out of games like this.
Yeah, 100%. Man, that was. I'm just trying to recall all the crazy things that happened in the end game. Just too many to count, man. Like the spikes at the end. Cookies getting that narrow, thread the needle spike as well amidst the solid ground that was actually created by a Tetra, maybe himself even. Still manages to get the dunk as well. Yeah,
nice. Very, very nice. Cookies really showing that practice on Tetra and looking really, really good on the new Hunter. So makes me exciting. And speaking of new Hunter, I don't know if everyone's heard yet, because I don't know if there's been posts made. I know I told Tom Kick and he was asking for the name of the event, which I haven't gotten just yet. I do need to actually message Theorycraft and get the name so I can come up with the actual name of the event. But there will be the Mage Hunter event, not this weekend, but the next weekend, so the 23rd. I'm trying to do it for all 3 regions, so APAC, EU, and NA, at least, you know, the 3 major regions. So if you want to sign up, let me know. You can either DM me or Samiri, I gave you the link as well, and you can give that to players too.
Yeah, I've done that. So hopefully, I don't know if you got any more signups yesterday, but yeah, I did post.
I
that
haven't
up, so
looked,
hopefully.
to be honest. I had a really bad migraine yesterday, which is also kind of why I was like a little bit late this morning. I woke up and I was like, oh, I need a moment. I need a moment.
Fair enough, no worries. We are just waiting for those bans. Yeah, as you mentioned, you are correct. That 100% is going to be 2 bans, game 2, and then at game 4 there'll be 2 more bans. So.
All right. So, looking at what our first 2 bans are, Wukong got to be one of them, right? Expecting it's Wukong. 100%. The second one though, that's the one I'm most curious. Is it going to be Shiv or is it going to be Kingpin? I think it's between those 2. I didn't see if that's gotten posted yet or not.
It's probably going to be KP. I don't feel like there was that many Shivs, were there? There was Aiden for sure. There was.
Yasser was playing it, but Yasser was also DC'd, so.
Yeah, it was only like 2.
Yeah, so that's why.
It's more likely to be Tetra. Sinnoh's just saying.
No, oh, wait, no, that was yesterday. I was looking at the Hunter bans from yesterday, and it was Wukong Shiv yesterday. And so. Interesting. I hope it's not Tetra. I would like to see some more Tetra game, to be honest.
You never know. I feel like people are just fed up with dunking at the minute, which is, of course, why that patch next week might be the savior.
Yeah,
for the game.
I will say this is for a lot of the players in the community. They know that I had a meeting earlier this week with TC, which I said went very well, and that was actually part of it, where I had talked to them about things like this, and they were actively investigating a lot of issues that players had. And one of them, I told them that was pretty big, was Shiv. You know, Shiv, Wukong, looking a little bit too strong, but dunking especially. And I'm really happy to see this kind of change. And this is where I'll put my thoughts into it. I from at least what it looks like, of course, we won't know until we actually get to play it. It seems like it is more going to be based off of health than just momentum, right? And I think the momentum, it's nice, you know, if you can layer the multiple dunks, but then people can still get annoyed if you just build an all dunk comp. It still has that frustrating element to it. But I feel like having it big based off health now, you know the risks you're taking a little bit more when you go over Abyss. You don't feel like, oh, I went over full health and I got dunked off screen by a Wukong. I feel like there's very little counterplay to that, right? Now you're like, okay, I'm going over Abyss with 50% health. I know there's dunkers on the other side. And so if I get dunked at this point, it is a risk I have to take.
Yeah, exactly. I think just like how it was with the kind of the glider fuel as it exists in 1.0, where it kind of goes up and when you take more damage, it kind of accelerates that progress. There's still that kind of potential issue where you think you're just safe from being dunked, but then let's say you take a burst of damage and then you get dunked, that will still be a kill, right? And in the same fashion, if you're less than half HP and then someone rapidly heals you, you know, you might be safe from being dunked. So it's going to be, it kind of potentially increases the confusion around spiking, you know, not being such a Boolean kind of state anymore. And, you know, because of that variability with the Abyss, the kind of Z-axis. It's going to, I'm hoping it doesn't become a confusing state, you know, in the game. But...
Well, I think this kind of goes into what, like, Sinoid is even saying, like, how there's so much Abyss. I feel like that's partly why we end up getting so frustrated by there being so much Abyss, because then it opens us up even more to dunks. And now that the dunks are going to be, I wouldn't say harder, they're just going to be slightly different. It goes into with the glider field change. It's no longer glider field, it's glider heat, which means that you can glide a lot longer, but you still have these ways that you have to kind of go about them and how you have to really look at whether or not it's worth gliding, whether it's worth going over this Abyss, but you are a little bit more free to do so, right? You're not as punished, and that's something I think I do like. I do wish the change happened a little bit sooner. That's probably my only criticism with it, is that we've been, a lot of the community have been saying, hey, this is feeling frustrating. Can we get this? But at least it's happening. At least it's happening in this next patch, and hopefully we'll have, we'll really get to see how it goes next weekend when we have the new Mage Hunter event.
Yeah, exactly. And have you kind of theory crafted what this character might have?
My theory crafting with it is based off of things that Theorycraft has said publicly, as well as what some players are saying. Is their thoughts is it's going to be a little bit more into not necessarily a support exactly kind of hunter, but a support-esque. And that's the thing I feel like is going to be big for me, is that it's going to be support-esque and have elements kind of like an Aluna, but a little bit more damage-oriented than, say, an Aluna.
Yeah, exactly. We'll have to see, like, are they going to go for kind of a buff-oriented type of character? Full heal, slight heal? Is it going to be like you brew
I think
potions,
slight heal.
like
I'm imagining
heal, okay.
slight heal, or like more maybe buff and debuffs kind of things. That's what I would like to see.
Yeah.
If you're gonna bring a mage in, buffs, debuffs would be cool. So you can try to debuff the enemy somehow. You can buff your own team in other ways. Make it so that they're doing. So you are kind of that backline mage. That if you get focused, then yeah, it's bad. But at least you were able to buff up your team in the first place. So. And kind of going with what people say, it's like there are things that it feels like it's a little bit too late with the devs going on. And like I said, I agree. I am hoping that I can have more conversations with them and try to get the ball rolling on being a little bit more proactive from them. So
yeah. I think that something's been rejuvenated in the respect to communicating with us. But yeah, as you mentioned, we've been in a drought for about 3 or 4 months, and I think that's the bit that's kind of eroded the goodwill of the people, sort of thing.
Right.
So I'm hoping
and like I said, I agree with it. It's like there's things that we also have to keep in mind. I say all this, but it is a small team still. It's hard. Like I think they're gonna have to do more crunch culture if they really want to make sure that they bring this game up to par, like, and make it so they can get that goodwill back. But I think they're capable of it. Like they're all very talented people. They're like, this game is really good. I enjoy, like, people can say what they will. I think this game is really good. There are just certain things that they need to be a bit better about, and hopefully we'll see that coming into the future.
Yep. I completely agree. It's like they've got the good like potential foundation. 1 second, I just need to restart the game because someone had
Tetra.
picked Tetra.
Yeah. I saw that too. I was just about to swap it over, and then so it's Tetra Wukong band. Those are our first 2 bands.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm a little sad about that. I wanted to see more Tetra gameplay.
I just need to wait for everyone to type because I cannot type. Wait, I need to type in my own chat, copy and paste the message.
Jake, I will say, if you're spending 40 minutes in queue, you need to re-queue. It's a bug. So, I've had that a couple times. This is something that happens in League of Legends too, that people kind of forget. That if you're spending more than 10 minutes in queue, just re-queue. Honestly, because it usually means that there's something bugged in the queue, and it's put you now onto this tier that... Tried that, though? Really? Because every time I do, anytime I wait more than 10 minutes, I try to re-queue, I get a queue popped almost immediately, every single time. I was playing, like, with Bebonked and Starsky's the other day, too, and they were like, oh, yeah, it's like, if I get more than 10 minutes, it's like, oh, it happens. They're like, oh, yeah, it's okay. I'm like, no, it's like, that's ranked or norms. It doesn't matter. Ranked or norms, I do that. And it immediately pops almost every single time after.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Yeah, it's been a shame that the player counts are dropped so much in the past couple of, like, let's say, like 2 weeks or so. It's super unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, if things go the way I think they will. There are certain things I cannot say publicly, but if things go the way I think they're going to go, knock on wood, within the next month we will be at far larger numbers than we were before.
Let's hope so. I think it's one of those things with this game as well. Like, the foundations of the game are good, but sometimes they just apply a coat of paint that is just really distasteful, to the scene, and then they don't necessarily like kind of just get rid of the paint. They just add another layer on, and it doesn't necessarily. Some things about that layer will make it good, and then some things you still under that first layer you can still see like there's still some aching points.
Well, like I said, fingers crossed. If they do the things that they told me, then it won't be a coat of paint. It'll be stripping off some of the old paint and putting on an actual nice layer of it where it looks good.
Let's hope so. Let's hope it's a fresh coat and it's covered everything. That'll be a nice outcome. But we can only time will tell. It's one of those things, right? As we've always seen before. On the south side, we're looking at Shy going down to potentially Molten, and 2 teams on the top hand side on Shards Maybe looking to fight straight away, in fact, EV and FFD in this scenario. Trying to get the ever-important level 2. Who's going to get it first, though? Might just be XP equally distributed. No, in fact, EV do get the last hit, get the level 2. Fate Strikes has the TP onto the mountain. But
Actually,
I think he's probably going to be toast.
I like that swap. I like that swap from Fate Strikes. Like, it was defensive, yes, but it was also defensive for his team. So it's easier for them to get out, because if they decide to focus on Fate Strikes, who would be the easier target once he uses swap, the rest of his team can actually get out of there a lot easier. So I actually really like that from Fate Strikes, to make sure that FFD have ways to go for further respawns. They can get farm on their way out, and they're not going to be out of this game.
Yeah, it's also one of those things as well. If they got the level 2, it might have still not necessarily been a win, because some characters just have even like up to weak like level 3. Like once they got level 3, they're probably kind of stabilized. But some characters just having one spell isn't enough to cut the mustard, you know. And we're also looking at TSM, maybe fending off tier 1. It looks like they're on the north side, just below them. Full south side, we're looking at a 7 AM and a 3 OP. And, Shroom again back now as well.
Hey.
So, good stuff.
So 3LP going to be back to full force now. The team that we normally expect. Funny though, we didn't see them go for another Cold Fang drop. They were at Mana Coils, but even with the full team, they didn't decide to go for it. It allows NTU to get all of the gold solo. Nobody contested them.
Very, very nice pickup for them. And 7AM are looking to apply a lot of pressure onto Hudis. He's already lost half HP, no mana as well. Probably doesn't have anything else in the tank, to be honest, except for one dash. No mana again. The LMBs are being sent in flurries. Hopefully no one gets spiked there. Looks like Full could probably seal the deal. Maybe Monster does instead. Nope, Full does get it right at the end. So 3OP are going to have to be looking for a res now. We're looking at a Harmonic Edge pickup for Shroom as well. And on the top right hand side, a bit, maybe like another round 2 potentially between these two teams.
Fate Strikes tried to swap over, only level 3. Gold armor is going to be kind of nice, but an easier target. First Barricade pushing him away. And look at Draco split away, so that's why they try to go for the play on a Fate Strikes, but he again makes it out. Nice swap away. Fuju next target, taking a lot of damage here from Levi. Pushed back to the brink, tries to get the double dash away. A swap, trying to defend, and now it's Fate Strikes with a spike. They've just been able to defend until Levi took him down with one strike, and now Fate Strikes about to be fatally striked here by Levi. Tried to get over on the other side with a nice snowball thrown out at them, but unfortunately only level 3 up against Levi. Not gonna cut it.
Very, very nicely done by both sides there. It looks like Tier 1 have also been forced out as a sub kind of slowly walk into Cobra as well. On the south side, the rest has just been popped, so it looks like they've pretty much reset, but they've lost the armors. Anything that they've acquired, they've lost it. So we see him getting spiked again, this time by Blink. That's happened twice now where he's glided for fun. Unfortunate.
Even with the glider changes, still as the unfortunate glider tech there getting spiked when overheating. But immediately revived pretty quickly, so not going to be quite out of this one for Mist. They're still hanging around Prisma. Gonna be perfectly fine, farming it up, getting themselves back into the game. Looking at pretty much all our teams, even if they've lost players here and there, because how widespread it is. And being bombing runs, I feel is like more impactful later into the game, but early stages, not really see too much play. Oh, Mist and 3LP about to meet here.
Oh, Cookies. He's been forced onto the north side. Doesn't try any squids, but hooks on both sides. Nothing connects there either. Sriffo also finds Subble as well. Aiden looking to maybe try and do some cheese plays onto Sinoid. Got the level 6 versus level 6. It's relatively even. Cooper on the high ground as well. Stun, heal, connect. Okay, nice.
Vortex Charm, it landed. Now looking for the root, and they're out in the storm. That's a lot of damage, but he was able to survive. A nice Zephyr to keep Hudis alive. Shroom making sure 3LP do not relent any pressure to Mist.
Yeah, we're also looking at Celerity and Manacles, and so many teams are stacked up here. Seeing Sub, Tier 1, and EV. EV have super strong armors the whole time. Car's been burned up. Neos has to go down to the left-hand side now. He gets knocked away temporarily, his team does, but it's going to be okay, I think, in this scenario. EV still chilling on the top-hand side. Cars have been picked up now by Tier 1. Looks like another car's probably going to blow up any second now as Crouch goes in for a punch. Knocks off Wody temporarily.
Ooh, and there it is.
Finally blown up. Zugzwang is likely toast unless he's got a bit of extra momentum. Oh, tries the little
no!
Not get the connection, unfortunately, though.
Barely missed it. He had the home run bat, had the squid, but the timing was just off by a fraction of a second, so no fast squid out of there. Instead, we look at the fight in Chaos Steps, and it is going to be a first pick already on the VL, as they have to run away, but we look back towards the Mana Coils and one of our souls. Surfo almost was able to get a nice dunk there, but NTU, riding the Sky Shark, waiting to see who they want to engage. They decide to send it over at MTB. And with the Sky Shark about to blow the shock wave, blasting back and having 7 AM instead look towards MTB.
Okay, and that car's just been blown up, which just provided them with an opportunity to kind of split up and not continue the fight. But they may circle around and continue afterwards because they want to maybe keep bomb control. Looks like Zugzwang has made it out with 1 HP as well. So TR1, you know, very, very bruised and battered, but are still in the game for now.
And they have the other 2 players over by Kobayashi, so even if Zugzwang does get taken down, they still can revive him, make sure their Bibo is going to be part of the fight.
Exactly. And I just want to clarify as well, is that Tetra and Wukong band, right?
Yes, Tetra Wukong band.
Yeah,
yes.
okay. I'm glad I didn't mistype it then. Oh!
Now
looks like Ada just make it out with a slither of HP. Not massive. A hook by
Blink
though.
though.
Nice dunk though. Ooh,
nice second win from Shroom. Was able to take down Blink. It is a 1-for-1, but they've already been able to pick up the Wisp. Luca making sure the team is up to full while 3LP are on the run.
Yep, and obviously they had to change their comp, you know, quite significantly due to the bans. So it's nice to see Luna now in the game. You know, we obviously see Sinnoh with it already, but you know, now it's been multiplied. It seems the amount of bunnies we're looking at in the game. NTU applying a lot of pressure onto S7AM. Swiftro on less than half HP. Ford, you know, sending his LMBs in as much as he can. MTV waiting on the right side. Some hammers are being sent in when possible. Wayne now jumps across, doesn't get too much value. Swiftro trying to get a bit more extra damage. Just find Spider Brawl. Just 2 members left now for NTU.
But NTU have their way out of the mana coils if need be. Well, we see that MTB, we're pushing in from the south, and then there's a fight all the way here in Ion Acres. Is EV losing out to TSM, only having the 1 alive. Mr. IC has a nice respawn beacon they can use, and it's an early storm, so not going to be too threatened by it.
Yep, and we're looking at VL, TR1, the Wordy getting hit by so much damage
from
all members of VL. Looks like a nice car has been sent in. Zugzwang, how much are they getting with the bomb? Not too much, it's all pretty much reset on the heals from Zeph. We've probably got no heal charges left. Puerdav's on low, super low HP, is he going to make it out? Pops the ulti, doesn't get too much value though.
Oh no, and Zugzwang then getting pinched by the sub team over the lava. Well, the train is going to go right past them. They already took down Bibo. It's only the Wadi who is alive on Celeste, who tries to go towards Chaos Steps, and a respawn beacon might have to rebuild one in order to rebuild the team.
Yep, and it looks like Sinnoh is also trying to apply a little bit of pressure onto the ship. He found kind of 2 teams, Numa kind of slightly separated from his team. Looks like the other members have found a Sky Shark. So he's going to hopefully be able to back to them in some sort of a safe manner. Meanwhile, Sun is connected by Sinnoh, gets a massive amount of LMBs. The combo damage from MST, along with Kuba's LMBs. TSM now looking from the south side. Cookies just get a hook on that KP. Dunk as well. That means Blink is dead. 2 members of TSM are now alive, left, you know, hoping to find a res of some sort. Maybe one in zone, as you mentioned. So it's not doing too much damage. So maybe that is an angle for them.
Yeah. It's early. It's still early days. It's still early how you can play. But right now, VL, they were eliminated first last game after they got pinched between 2 teams. But here, struggling in this fight against the sub team. They only have Urshak, who is able to get out as he goes up towards the north and not really seeing a good angle. There's the base camp that will spot his position. The VL have to be so cautious on how they approach it from now on.
Yeah, we're seeing like a massive dispersion now after that kind of initial couple of intensive fights on the top right-hand side. It seems to have calmed down, but as Gorshachek makes his way down to the south side, MST might be looking for free pickings here. We're looking at Cookies, maybe getting some like last-minute pickups. Hopefully Gorshachek can make it out of this one alive, not be detected by MST. Looks like that might be the case in this scenario, but you know, res opportunities are still looking quite slim. Looks like Aiden's just backed onto the rest of his team now. He's going to be silenced temporarily while TSM are looking to potentially fight. They also got the res off as well themselves. The car's been blown up at the last second.
Yeah,
He's going to take a little bit of damage, get sent to China, while Wayne, you know, daggers up to the north side because that bombing res type of temporarily separate the teams.
Yeah, I saw the Gravity Squid, the 2 charges of it, and it almost was able to layer up another fight, but now it is going to be Shy fighting against NTU. Blast off over the abyss, looking for 1 rocket to connect, but somehow NTU, Numa might be able to get out of this one alive. He's over the lava, but it's burning his health, and he's overheating. Numa is down, only Spider Brawl's alive.
Yep, and it looks like a fight on the train tracks, it seems. MST and MTV. It looks like Cookies might try for a little hook there. He's got the right angle, but, you know, just a little bit too far away. But the Squid and Dunk, yeah, there we go. That's called it. And they do find that the Oath completely separated there just temporarily. And the EPAT's already used now. San on less than half HP. He's been healed up rapidly with his own heal there right at the last second. Armors are looking really, really dire. And that card blow might provide them with just enough time to kind of hopefully recuperate here. At least a little bit of armors.
Yeah.
So trying to continue the pressure. Cookies tries to jump onto the train, which he successfully does. And VL are there on the left-hand side waiting patiently to pounce maybe. But they had a look at MST's armors and maybe decided against it.
I did like that, using the car to make sure they get out of here. And now VL in a fight against MST, as they already have one pulled away. He might be rooted over the tracks, but they got Kuba in trade. Ogorshek tries to make sure he can get out of that alive, but a nice dunk from Cookies makes it impossible to do so, leaving a 2v2 battle over on the track. Sub coming in as well as MTB. It is going to be the root from Sinoid, locking down. Then MTB, third party. Neko-chan has to try to get back with the same. Subtle is not going to be able to help him out. It's only going to be the one. Then the spike from Sub to take down VL.
Yep, and on the south side, looks like 7 a.m. just chilling at the moment. We're looking at, what's it called, Masamune in this scenario for Swiftbro. I think a Resident was successfully performed as well. Just heard that one. Looks like 3LP, sorry, might be in big trouble here. MST applying so much pressure here. Shroom now temporarily separated. Gets a spike. Who dis? Sproken finds a kill on to Aiden as well. They're going to hopefully try and get that resin as soon as possible.
But MST do not want to fight that one. It was a 2v2. While it might have been even, the pull is all that matters, but they have an E-plat, and they took down Hootis with the crown on their side. Immediately turned that back onto 3LP.
Yeah, and that's what I was mentioning about the E-plat mechanic. You know, not many people know about it, but you will get a spike on someone if they're kind of directly below it, even on teammates. So I'm hoping with the dunk changes that's all, you know, kind of been considered as a factor. Meanwhile, Luca just get a nice little stun with the squid.
Nice.
Very, very nicely done, taking out the last member, 3LP, surprisingly 10th place.
Very early exit for that team, and well done there from Luca and TSM to make sure they got another knock and one last team to deal with. But we go up in the north and we see EV struggling against 7 a.m. and against NTU. Fold is trying to use those easy plats to get away, dashing back towards the rest of the team, but it's over lava and it's in a bad spot. NTU and FFD are both here at the engine.
And this is like a, you know, absolute cinema for Monster if he gets the vortex charm, because it is in such a suffocated small corridor. Never mind, actually hit the what's it called, the nade to reduce the armor to 0 there, and luckily Monster does not get hit by that singularity.
Wait a minute.
Now NTU are in the bad position still. FFD trying to apply pressure from the left hand side.
They were trying to flank 7 a.m. then somehow almost got sandwiched between 7 a.m. and NTU. Then they make it out while NTU have held on to this position in the engine this entire time. This is given a moment for 7 a.m. to look for another Vortex Charm, but we're going to have another sandwich. It's going to be on to 7 a.m. again, and the alarm is ringing. It's going to be them falling first. They've lost Mounster, and then FFD playing aggressively onto NTU, breaking up the engine, making it impossible for them to fight. Now they're on the tracks, and look at 7 a.m. cleaning up as NTU flee 2 separate directions, but 2 teams upon their position. Only Spider Brawl is left. Thankfully, the train might give him a way out of this one until Levi spotted him out. Spider Brawl has to pull off a miracle here to make sure they get out alive.
Yeah, and meanwhile on the south side, we're just looking at me Blast Alive still. We're just trying to, you know, circle around any opportunity to kind of get a bit of breathing room. We are looking at also EV kind of chilling in the bushes, in their own separate bushes as well, to kind of maximize survivability. Meanwhile, as we just saw before, Spider Brawl on his last legs does get spiked right at the end by Fold. That is NTU out 9th place.
Yeah, unfortunately for NTU, that position in the engine was always going to be difficult. The storm behind them, 2 teams surrounding their position. They're hoping that they could that they could sandwich a third party there, but it was just a little bit dire. Now we look at a team that's looking a little dire here. The Shy, yes sir, tries to get away, but pulled back in by Mist, and they have no real way to get out of this one. Another Gravity Squid on to Shiv in the storm and eliminated early.
7 kills, 8th place. Oof, not as good as they had before. Maybe they need Yasser to DC again to get another 2nd place, man, but either way, you know, it's just one of those things with Battle Royale games. It's very, very hard to be an ultra consistent team. You know, if you just manage to have a couple of bad fights, even though they're close, you know, you're just left with dire straits. Sometimes you can recover if you manage to get a clean third party, but you know, the game is kind of extremely variable in some scenarios, and that did result in Shy dying there.
As we look at 7 a.m. and Sub, a nice push back with a 2nd wind, but here comes the bombing run. They still fight over the position. While FFD coming from the north, trying to get the slam onto 7 a.m., but they have been split up, and they got the slug wave coming out, but Dracos instead might focus on a Sub with a nice bomb to take down Necros before the revive was there, and only one's left to swap over the abyss. 7 a.m. trying to get away from FFD, but Fold cannot do so. Taken down, only leaving one left, as Swiftbro has no real way to escape from Sub, who have been able to resurrect the team, and out of their arcane railgun snipe to take down 7 a.m.
Oh, and just as that happens, MTB are now looking to completely collapse on the last two members of Sub. It is just Necros. Well, sorry, never mind. There are two members left. Neos trying to escape as quick as possible on that Phoenix. Doing a massive amount of damage to San, but FFD are looking for a piece of the pie. Looks like they're going to do so much damage to Necros. They've got the Singularity here as well. That is Sub out in 6th place, and shortly, just afterwards, FFD are going to keep applying pressure onto MTB. You know, they're just in wrecks and ruins. It looks like gets the hook. And Kazaro is trying this magic on the lava, so maybe able to get this res off onto Wayne at the last second. But Frieza keeps applying the pressure. It looks like a Naldhot has also been placed. We're gonna have to find out where that one is placed very shortly.
Yeah, especially because Kazaro still has to escape from FFD regardless. Bird Bomb to connect. Fate Strike swapping away, but then it's missed from the south. Trying to get onto Kazaro. The last strike left. A nice air blast away, but they hadn't gotten the target landed, and now they have been able to escape with the help of FFB until Dracos peels back, saying, I'd rather eliminate this team while they got the Singularity. A 2v3 fight for FFB. Now Dracos has to rejoin with the team, missing the pull. Kazaro on the other side. MTB not eliminated just yet while EV intervene on a miss. They got them low on damage, but they have to make sure they aren't getting collapsed upon. Crouches had barely any health. The chilling finale. Good luck down 2, but he's got to get behind the wall. It is going to be 1 taking down Kuba. The target missed. Have Sinoid playing aggressively onto Levi, but Crouch was able to survive. And now, with the bombing run onto Cookies, they have to get out of there. They cannot save the Wisp anymore.
Yeah, that is an insanely lucky escape there from Crap. Never mind. Oh, he touched the edge of that radiation and actually died to the world there. Hope they can get this res off. A nice little, defensive.
Nice.
By Levi was the scapegoat in this scenario, but now he's been the scapegoat for FFD. It looks like a punch at the last second from Crouch, trying to provide Levi with an extra bit of survivability himself. Everyone is playing the sacrificial goat there, it seems. Ice just picks up a crown, and an organic one right at the end. But MST are looking to maybe have a piece of that. Meanwhile, on the left-hand side, it looks like another fight is transpiring.
Swap attempted by Fate Strikes. Low health, summon Napalm. They've got damage on him. They're looking for the snipe, but they couldn't land it. Now with the Mega Avalanche from Cookies, FFD over the lava as they are still mounting their escape away from Mist. But Sinoid not making it easy, trying to play aggressively on a Fate Strikes, who has a shield and a swap to get back to land. And look on the other side, EV. They had that crown earlier, and I think they actually just went straight for the respawn instead of waiting out the crown.
Yep, and I don't know if you've seen the Naldhot yet. I've not.
I have not either.
Quick flick around while hopefully there's not any action going on. Can't see it just yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either. Oh, there it is. There it is. It's outside of the storm right now.
Oh,
so right there.
Oh, yes,
yeah, right there.
Got you.
So I barely was able to see that. As we are getting our storm pulled down towards the Gnarled Heart. Our 3 teams left: EV, FFD, and Mist. Fighting with one another, but Mist almost having to engage from EV, but they are golden right now. Same with FFD. The only team that is a little battered right now is going to be EV, and they lose one right as they picked up gold armor. It was a bait the whole time.
And I'm pretty sure Dracos is French, but maybe he's got some German genes in him, because that was like some precision engineering. That was just incredibly clean there to get that grappling dunk down. Oh my god, the timing of it.
It was.
And the kind of aiming you need to have to kind of gauge the momentum was just so precise there. Very nicely done.
Also crazy to see with Dracos, because Dracos is such an amazing Celeste player, and we normally see him playing that Hunter, but here with the Kingpin really showing off those mechanics too, as Levi playing aggressively, but Mist. They aren't even joining in just yet. They're waiting for the fight here. Draco's looking for the pull. Mr. Ice-T going to be the target here, having that crown. They're playing as defensively as possible, throwing out a lot of the icicles and waiting to see if they're going to play aggressively onto them. The Chilling Finale still in the inventory for Mr. Ice-T. Does he want to play onto FFD while Mist are looking for the flank? They can sandwich this team. Then Levi doing his best to defend, make sure the crown's alive. And now he's going aggressively himself while we see that Mr. Ice-T's gone for the long play all the way around. But on the other side, Levi in the 1v3 against Mist, pumping out the damage on the Cookies, taking down one. Levi fighting against Mist, but they still have the revive onto the Wisp while we see a Dong takes the crown right from underneath Mr. Ice-T.
And Levi just picks up the card straight after, so it's 1:20, and he just held his own against, basically a 1v3, kind of continuing to show Shiv's strength. That we are looking at Sunweaver and Refractor in this scenario. And it's actually going to provide a lot of value having Refractor in these small circles, because everyone is typically clumped. So, we are looking at a TP place with Face Strikes. Is he going to get the stun? As
Levi has to go right through Fusillade, but no escape. Levi, your heroics, we love them, but unfortunately there's just no real way to live.
Yep, and Face Strike is trying a little bit of a, kind of kidnap play, but it was unsuccessful. He's going to continue to try that whenever possible. And aside from that, it looks like it's just going to be a consistent, kind of eye-to-eye hold off for these sort of small islands. Maybe they try to cross over, but Cookies is obviously on that KP. Maybe he gets a nice hook in to kind of start the fight off.
Because right now,
away that one nicely.
Mist looking for a back-to-back victory here against FFD. But FFD, and they're looking just as strong. Both teams is really going to be the might of one another against how they can play around these kingpins, especially if Cookies or Dracos is able to land one of these pulls, or we see Fate Strikes with a really good kidnap on someone like Sinoid. That can lock down victory for FFD, while it Mist, they just need to make sure they're not getting hit by that singularity. A swap onto the other side of the bombing run, trying to force the hand of Mist into the territory that FFD have, but not really looking too strong for FFD with the circle. It keeps pulling down towards Mist.
Storm closing.
Yeah, I think the main kind of engagement here, even though they have their own KP as well, of course, is either going to be Fate Striking in a massive singularity or some sort of kind of yoink stun with the squid. Or maybe, in fact, there may be an LMB exchange. Oh, no, he's already popped the squid. He's gone down to the south side. He's used a lot of his, really high volume ability. And Fuzu had to go down to the south side to kind of poke Kuba to kind of draw the attention away temporarily.
Trying to get a little bit of that damage onto Kuba. That long range from Ghost, poking at them as many times as humanly possible. And I do see the play from Fate Strikes, what he's trying to do. If he's able to land it, it's going to be beautiful. But now losing his shield and hitting the root, this is going to be devastating. A slam immediately onto Fate Strikes. Sinoid already starting out the fight well for Mist. And now they can play aggressively. FFD in a horrible spot. They send out the salvo to try and see if they can revive Fate Strikes at the same time. They have been able to bring him back, but it is going to only be the one. Krista on the other side. Fuzu has to pull off the most legendary Krista movement I've ever seen in my life, especially when you're surrounded by Mist on all sides, and the slam, the pull, the slam damn pull coming in as they're looking to see if they take down Fuzu, and Mist get 2 in a row.
Very, very nicely done for them. Super nice end game, very, very calculated play by Cookies, just as Dracos did before with that, the grabby squid's dunk. You know, Cookies kind of just mirrored his actions there to get that first kill, which just made them kind of crumble apart there, 50. So, good stuff to MST there.
Exactly. So well done out of MST, picking up 2 games in a row here. All right, I'm going to take a quick little break because I got to use the bathroom, so I'll be right back.
Yeah, no worries. Oof. Good stuff, good stuff. So game number 4 it's going to be, which is 1, 2, 6 bullet. I see you, Sinoid, I see you. So bullet.
Ready to cause a little mayhem? Select your hunter.
Another mission. Good.
Alrighty. So game number 4 is going to be Bullet Trains, which is, of course, Magical's favourite Storm Shift. And I think that's another thing to touch on as well, right? We kind of lost a couple of Storm Shifts in 1.0, and that is another thing that adds a lot of tacticality and macro to the game. I feel like a lot of players are already kind of pretty well established on the strategies required for the existing Storm Shifts. So I'm hoping that they can conjure up a couple more, maybe like 5 more, just to continue adding more macro state to the game. And of course, not all of those 5 will be competitive. Will have the competitive slant on them, but even if we get a couple, I'll be happy because it does increase the variability. It does cause people to kind of have different thinking patterns when it comes to the macro strategy, maybe how they spend their money and things of that nature. So here's hoping, but they've not said anything about that one yet either. So we are looking at EV already dropping on Dawn Caps. It looks like everyone is relatively well spread so far. And never mind, 3 teams on Vanegrove. Actually, 1 team going for the train instead. Maybe 2, maybe to look into dance on it. No, they've gone to the right side. Both of them actually in this scenario. Tier 1 have already got first dibs over the first couple of mobs in Magebug, while 7am also on the south side as well, fighting that mob up. And then they may both rotate to Magebug. I'm not really sure what the scenario is going to be. TSM also trying to fight for territory here against their 3OP, while they're going to do a little bit of split farming. Shroom on his own. Udis has picked up a Sky Shark along with Aiden, so they're probably going to go to Cold Fang with their standard strats. And yeah, basically everyone is very, very healthily dispersed so far. This is unlike the previous games we've seen where there's a lot of scrappy fights. So 7am actually decided to go down to the south side, but you know, obviously this is already in TSM's dominion. They've already pretty much farmed the gold mob here, so it's going to be quite a hard thing for them to fight, kind of being maybe even 2 levels under in this case for Luca. Blink is already sending it forward with the defensive dagger, and Blink manages to get away at the last second with a slither of HP. Luca can hopefully heal him up once he's got his next heal off cooldown. A nice little hook attempt from Meat to try and buy a little bit of time, and now Luca's temporarily separated from the team, so hopefully he can make out this one. The Face Steel Train does not connect, so it's going to be okay in this scenario as he keeps jumping away. Going to be out of LOS and should be fine.
All right, sorry about that. I'm back.
No worries.
So here we go. We got to see how everything is. Don't see really too many changes so far. You know, everything looking pretty standard as we'd expect, because there's going to be bans after this game. What?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Honestly, looking at it, I'm surprised Shiv didn't make the ban beforehand, but it's definitely going to be Kingpin Shiv after this.
Yeah, that's likely to be the case for sure, I reckon. Maybe it's one of those things where it's like a strategical. You could argue some people can play the game almost of you know, trying to gamify the bans in some respect, especially when bans are in intervals, like a 2-interval ban and then a 2-interval ban.
Right.
That does allow people to potentially play their character for a bit longer if they kind of weave in the characters, you know, between the games, sort of thing. Potentially, you know.
Right. I'm kind of looking. Honestly, it almost makes me want to introduce bans when it comes to the hunter-specific events, just to have something fun like that, where it's like obviously the most play would be whatever hunter that is, but to make it so that hunter really can shine, would you to introduce bans on things that we see too often, to make it so it's even more that you really have to play different styles around that hunter and what's going to really build them up. But right now, see a potential fight here in Imhotep. A lot of damage on Anaios. Kubo is trying to play aggressively, looking for the snipe, not going to be able to land that, and now going to be pulled back in the fight against Krista. Minato getting a lot of damage while Sinoid on a separate fight against Necros. Necros might be able to wrap around. Nuke has been launched at them. That whiff is not going to be saved. Minato now has to fight against 2 as they double dash back towards the engine.
Yep, and it looks like, aside from that, there's only one other fight happening on the south side. It looks like MTB just opened the vault, going to grab some goodies, and I'm pretty sure in this scenario, FFD did hear them, but I think they're just getting their relic buys before they kind of continue on to maybe look to fight them on the top right side. I think there might be also another fight brewing here.
Ooh, yeah.
1-for-1, and also a res, it looks like, as well, so it's going to kind of neutralize things in this scenario.
Yeah, so Res Zugzwang is going to be back in the fight, but we see the Wody this time on Bebo. Going to be on a jet stream path away from anything, and then both of them low health. Sky Shark, then no jet stream will save you, missing the crash. He went underneath them. The elevation for the Wody, and now he's found his own bike. We are about to have a battle over the air, as no, the Wody doesn't even go for the revive to try to stop that. Instead, just going to get out of there while all that health was taken back by the Shy.
Yeah, I think for Night 1 especially, you kind of want to recuperate as fast as possible. At the same time, a nice little squid play by Luca, just to get the stun connection as well. That is definitely going to be waiting dead in this scenario. So it's just San now, that's the life for MTB. As we see, most of the teams kind of make their way into the circle as it currently stands. We're looking at Ever Oracle and Hyper Haste in this scenario for the Night 1s.
Okay. Whoever Oracle, really good one. I like that one a lot. See teams play very aggressively over that, while Levi try to play aggressively with the Sky Shark to help him out if they can blow that one up, get some damage onto them, but not going to actually be able to find that. Instead, they're going to have to get away from this to take down Levi. Even Crouch on the disengage on the south side, taking a boar on their way out, but Grabby Squid landing on the Crouch with the pull too. No escape for EV.
That was a very, very nice engage there, and obviously you had to just give up on that scenario. Once the squid connects and he gets the stun, you know, even though you've tried your own evasive maneuvers, you know you're out of you're kind of out of everything at that point. And Hachi's now trying to perform an aggressive trace into Board as narrowly avoids misses the ult, shall I say, gets absolutely sent right at the last second and is spiked.
And leaves only Zugzwang as we are on our bullet train, my very favorite storm shift here, as Zugzwing unfortunately not hit by a train, hit by a bike, and the rest of a team. They're going to be our first team eliminated here.
Yep, we are looking at a lot of teams converging kind of on the right-hand side there, kind of on the heart and on Vein Grove, as that Everhaste, what's it called? Everhaste is in scenario?
Yes, I think that's Everhaste.
Yeah.
I'm
that
still
one,
getting used to a lot of the icons myself, so.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes they're just hard to tell. And oh, actually, just get a nice little punch with the stun connection onto Crouch. Super low HP. Oh, and the squid narrowly misses by Spro. That would have definitely been a kill. Yes, is there with the car for reinforcements, but he's a touch late. But now they do have full control over that red Everhaste now, which is really good for Shy.
So Bissell Hatchling for the Shy. Really good to have all that haste so they can play even more aggressively while NTU against 7 AM. A nice juke initially fried by Numa, but only Phantom now stands up against 7 AM and pulled back in by the Vortex Charm. Tries to heal up with some help of some berries on the way out. While Oath might be hard to take down immediately, eventually you will fall to all three.
Yep, and on the top side, looks like two teams are definitely going to be meeting each other. MST looking super healthy in the armors, and kind of similar with this situation with Sub here. Everyone has double relics as well in this scenario, so we need to see who gets that initial stun or initial bit of CC that typically starts things off. But everything's been missed so far.
There
but
it is.
mind, Cookies just get the hook, the stun.
Summon Napalm though.
Nice.
Had summon Napalm from Kuba to make sure they could secure that kill. Thought for maybe a second there was going to be something bad. Oh, wait, we saw that there was actually the intervention by EV in the fight on the north side. While we do see on the south side that 7 AM get eliminated. Right as we turned away, it was the Sky Shark tech with the chilling finale on the Mist. EV now destroy Mist. Only Cookies manages to escape.
Yeah, and surprisingly, he's not going to get chased here. He's backing somewhere, so I think, is this his bond? I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's his.
Okay, so just the 2 shades of red, there's a 50% chance I'm wrong. It's one of those kind of ones. And Cookies does manage to find a car that is parked in the garage. He's going to be fine in the scenario. And just south of it, we're looking at Spider Ball last night. He's picked up his own car too, so. And meanwhile, on the south side, there's an absolute, brewing pot of teams here, just all meeting up, coalescing. It looks like Shiv has just narrowly made it out as TSM continue to apply pressure. They're trying to get the res onto Hoodis. The pickup. They did manage to get it successfully. Aiden, whoa. Very
nice. There we go. Gets onto the tracks, but guess what? The train is about to start coming down the tracks, and we see a fight here between Mist and Shies. A lot of damage and broken armor. A divine intervention. Is it going to be in time? It could not keep Cookies alive. It's only one left now for Mist. It's Kuba trying to survive while we go back to the tracks. TSM fight against MTB, taking down Kaizaro. Now another train. Go right on past them. YN has to be cautious on that one. Could have got caught out. And we see Kuba, the last one that stands for Mist 200. Hit by the grabby squid. Taking the rings with the blast up. Trying to keep up with Mist so they can take him out. Summon Napalm. Getting a lot of damage even with the stun grenade. It's not enough. Mist are not going to find 3 in a row.
And just to the left there, it looks like another fight is brewing as well. Looks like Sub and FFD in this scenario. Dracos looking relatively unhealthy on armor. Looks like Fate Strikes tried a little bit of squid play there. Would have been crazy if he hit that onto a Necros, but no one, everyone's relatively unscathed in this scenario. We're looking at festering Jawblade as well for Dias as well. Oh, he got spiked by the boss laser. No, Necros.
No, Necros. Tragic there. So already losing one, and then we see Numa taken down up north by EV with VL, team that has been struggling a little bit in the day, has been able to hold on to the engine, and they're looking towards that potential soul. But over at Site 38, 3LP and TSM. Fusillade for Fusillade with the Sky Shark taken by Shroom trying to get away. It will only be his own escape. Had to leave Aiden out to dry.
Yep, and there's probably going to be this res that he goes for, but we do see FFD. They've just taken the soul, so their next rotation, if they wanted to stop here, is going to be north, and they'd actually do back instead. So it looks like it's going to be a free res in this scenario. Very nicely done. Maybe nicely timed, you could argue.
Yep. I think a little bit lucky there for 3LP. Had it been a couple seconds earlier that they had gone on the respawn beacon, FFD probably would have immediately turned to try to get the fight, but because they had already nearly completed the recalls, they're like, yeah, we'll just let them go. See how we can play on the rest of the map. While we see a lot of teams more of a chase here in pursuit of a crown for MTB. VL now pinched between 2 teams. 3LP who got in the revive, and now it's going to be the Fusillade pumping out the damage onto VL. They put down an Abyssal Breaker trying to escape, leaving EV and 3LP to do battle. Getting a lot of damage onto Shroom. Going to be the target, but an E-Plat with the second one blocked by the Frozen Barricade. Chilling finale onto the E-Plat created by 3LP. But EV, they still have power, but for some reason Levi was never a part of that. Now Spider Brawl having a crown could intervene, could look for a low health target. Mr. IC could be that target, but 3LP, they've been standing their ground. ground on this boat this whole time against EV, while Crouch getting tackled by Shy on the other side with the blast off to try to crouch onto Crouch, and they've taken down one player of EV.
Oh my god, what an absolute chaotic fight there as teams just continue to like third party, fourth party, fifth party. The numbers just keep increasing. And it looks like Shy did come out on top of that. They've accumulated a little bit more power than they even previously had. We're looking at Yasuo with relatively strong armors as well. NTU, is it just Phantom? No, Spider-Ball's still around somewhere on the left-hand side. We do see a Crown pop. Looks like NTU back as a full 3-man right at the end.
Right at the end. Perfect timing for them, so they'll be back into this fight once again. But we see VL. They have been struggling for a long time in the day. They're probably one of the furthest they've made it in our games of Scrims today. But unfortunately, there's no more health for them to rely on, and now go back towards EV and the Shy. Sprokane with the pull onto Levi, looking for the slam, but so many E-plats put down, trying to save Levi, but he's been bounced around forever, and Shy will collect that first casualty of EV in that fight.
Yep, and NTU now looking from the left-hand side to try and get some potential free pickings, because maybe some cooldowns have been used, some useful ones. They're trying to use that those E-plats just temporarily. Armor's looking very, very healthy for Shy in comparison to NTU. Numa just have to jump back on the last second after popping his ulti, and Phantom gets actually a mega ult with a nice R&Bs right at the last second, but he's not doing too much damage as that tank oath. Spider-Brawl now has to face steal chain away temporarily. Numa now on the left-hand side sends a couple of autos, but now 3 OPs here as well again.
Just Aiden, though. It was just Aiden who showed up, drove past, and was like, wait,
around.
I don't want any of that. I didn't have Hudis with me, so instead, we'll get out of there. While NTU, they hadn't quite fallen either. So a lot of teams, they lose a player here and there, but able to at least stay on the breach for some time and kind of waiting right here. There's that recall being attempted. I thought that maybe that it was kind of looking weird there for that bot side fight. I was wondering what was going to happen. Is right now we look at Spider-Brawl. Crown with a dunk on Yasir, but he's been split away. That's going to be the target, while EV have been able to get the kill on to the Shies. We did see that the Crown was procced, but not actually taken by Spider-Brawl. He missed that barely. Look at Florida dunk again, but missing that one. Well, there's 2 Crowns. Then MTP's Kaizaro. Make sure NTU do not get theirs.
And Aiden just manages to dance around that chaos perfectly. Still has the crown in his possession, and it looks like a way-in are looking. Well, sorry, MTB are looking to collapse fully onto EV. They do a massive amount of damage, and now that the ward is also down, it does provide an easy opening. Hook is narrowly misses as well. Ice trying to provide that flurry of LMBs to kind of slow down MTB just temporarily. Still with the shift level 4. Looks like the last member 3OP is finally found as well. We're looking at Numa still that's alive, trying to go for his own res as well. He'll probably be sent into zone temporarily.
Yeah.
Endgame. It's going to be a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage. It's a bullet train, so it's going to take him a far ways away. And even look at where the circle is going. They might not have time to get back into the circle. No double dash left. Might have. Oh, Numa survives, but then Mr. Ice-T says, "Hey, wait a minute. Who's this on the tracks?" Gets rid of Numa. Spider-Brawl 2 trying to survive as they have their ult on the other side, but Spider-Brawl is going to be the target for Crouch to take him down. Well, almost the pull from Little Meep. Phantom puts up a shield to try to survive, but out of this one, you have to go over a wall in order to survive. And TSM, they've already got great position. They force you back into the zone yet again. They get a bit of damage. Phantom not looking too good for NTU. A nice push back with the spin dash, but Mr. Ice-T, same with Little Meep. They've made sure they've corralled Phantom up into the northern part while they've got the lockdown onto the crown. So no revive for EV. It's just Mr. Ice-T left.
Yeah, but I think now he's found that opportune moment to kind of circle around. I was thinking, why is he not circling around? Why is he not doing it? But I think it's because he knew that TSM would quickly collapse if he did that, and that is the case in this scenario. It looks like Ice does make it out in this scenario for free. Freestyle just popped, hop onto the car, the hook as well. Going to get knocked down completely. NTU are out 6th place. It's a very, very hard fight for him to.
It was a nice try. Honestly. It was a nice try from NTU. Phantom, I knew what he was waiting for, because no matter what, if he went too early, TSM were just going to pull and kill him.
Yeah, of course. So
it's
I'm like, please, TSM, let him go.
Exactly.
He time.
Almost
it's like a bouncer, man.
Right.
Yeah.
It was so close.
Oh.
Now looking at the rest of the map and seeing where teams are 5 remaining here. TSM, they did take game 1, so we could have another repeat victor today, because missed taking games 2 and 3, TSM game 1, but a lot of teams that we haven't seen too much of today. So Sub, MTB, 2 teams that have been eliminated a little bit earlier. It's good to see them. They can get further into this game, but then you look at other teams like FFD. This has been a team that has been able to make it into the top 4 consistently throughout the day. EV too, they've been looking really solid in the day.
100%, and Ice does have enough for a crown, so once that shop drops, he does have an opportunity to get that one. Two nukes are dropped, forcing out Sub kind of down to the south side now. No, Nice is completely stuck here on the south side, tries to get a little bit of damage up to Fuzu, but I don't think it's going to be enough as FFD just send, the whole kitchen sink at him. He's definitely going to be dead in that scenario.
Really want to make sure they take out at least one player. If they're going to commit so many of their nukes, they got rid of one.
Very true.
So might as well go for something. Oh, Minato almost accidentally crashed into the train there. I thought for a second he might have. But again, bullet train. So Minato going for a play that we saw earlier. It's going to be really tough getting back into the circle. So him and Niza will have to do so. Well, Mr. IC, as you called out, picked up that crown immediately upon shop. And now with the chilling finale, will the train show up in time? It won't. It's going to be the summon Napalm to take down EV, and then MTB playing aggressively, but not getting enough damage to take down Sub. Instead, it's going to be an Abyssal Breaker, locking them inside of the corridor. Niza going to be the target while they got damage. The pole taking down Blink, then the train on the sand. So one is gone to the train while Sub still alive, holding on to the tracks. But here come the nukes with a crown for Kaizaro, and then Blink pulled back by Little Meep, who's trying to revive at the last second. Couldn't get it, but the crown does go off for MTB.
Oh, everyone is back, and now Sub are looking super healthy, apart from Nice in respect to armors. 3 red perks in total for Sub as well. TSM looking to guard them out, but MTB are just on the left-hand side. They're a Trither hook and a nuke, trying to force them into less and less space whenever possible. They're kind of temporarily out of that next circle where MTB kind of has first dibs on that island. They've made their way across with a dash, quite aggressive, while Kaizaro tries maybe an optimistic hook on the north side. Doesn't get any connection though.
Yeah, not going to connect that one. And for our 4 remaining teams, all of them now back up to full. Nuke sent up north onto Sub, but Sub trying to avoid. It's going to be Blink with the Fusillade, pumping the damage onto Necro. So now only 2 for Sub. Niles tries to defend, make sure that Minato get some damage with the double dash away onto the crown. But now they've lost Niles over to MTB. They all collapse. Make sure there's only going to be one left for Sub. It's going to be the one with the crown. FFD taking the advantage now to move up north and try to see if they can play onto MTB while another pull attempted by TSM.
Yep, and just on the south side, we're looking at Minato. 1 minute 10 left. And he had maybe an aggressive dash forward towards FFD. He was probably safer in his current position on the bottom right-hand side. Blink trying to defensive dagger, trying to get a little bit of poke damage, but the hook disconnects. Mantle dunk down. Oh, that's going to seal the deal. Blink is down. Hopefully TSM have enough for a crown or something along those lines. They've got about 9k. They can easily beat them by res.
No, they're nuking the res. They don't want any team to be able to get that. They don't want to have a surprise right behind them. And now it is going to be a mega avalanche to try to separate the fight. Well, there was the engage. FFD a little bit too greedy. Fate Strikes couldn't swap away. So now, what are you losing? One. Then the train comes in out of nowhere to be able to pick up another kill in this game. Well, the revive did go through for Sub. Out in the storm, though. They've got to get back in. They're going to lose him immediately. Minato, he has resurrected the team, but they weren't able to get back into the circle. And still, just Minato. This time, crownless. FFD, they don't have one either, but Dracos has spotted Minato. Nice double dash away, while MTB and TSM hold the mainland over by the tracks to make sure these 2 stragglers, the one surviving. Another slam attempted by Dracos, but Minato was able to avoid it, sending out the salvo, getting some damage onto Dracos, but not nearly enough, even with the grabby squid. Couldn't connect onto Minato.
Yep, and Minato's going to be running out of options. There is a shop on the top left-hand side. How much money is that? 5k, so even he can buy crown on the next shop, but it's 45 seconds. It's a pretty long wait for that next circle, and especially with it being, majority lava, we know that MTB are going to have control over that kind of solid ground, so it's only going to be this small amount that Minato can really play on. It's going to be very, very difficult for him to survive this one. Dracos also found dead by TSM in this scenario. That is FFD out 4th place.
Yeah, I think he was going for the hero respawn, hoping that he could save the team in time, but unfortunately just not enough time. And Minato, same thing for Sub. Couldn't get over onto land, had been kept at bay that whole time. Now it's just TSM and MTB fighting around the tracks, around lava. And it's going to be risky for any of these teams to engage. It's really going to be onto a pull from either of these kingpins. Little Meep versus Kaizaro.
Yep, and the hook does come, the nuke comes in. MTB have found another bit of a kind of safe ground to play on just temporarily. And now they're going to potentially circle back. They've got kind of 3 islands to play on now. They're kind of okay in this scenario. And TSM are maybe just considering their options, maybe buying some E-plats. So they've got an extra bit of space to play on, or even buying the perks as well to kind of ensure that they can stay safe in the lava. That might be the case as well. That gives them an extra bit of playability that's potentially unconventional. The hook, Abyssal Breaker!
This is what we just talked about, that if you get caught out, it's going to be big, but he somehow gets back with the rest of the team. Divine intervention to keep him back at full. So, TSM, despite it seeming like they were caught out, Little Meep makes it out alive.
Yep, and only with the Iluna can you have that sort of rapid recovery to get back into the game. TSM are now on that small island there, maybe even looking to get some shops in or something along those lines. Maybe trying some cheese here with maybe a squid or a hook or something along those lines. Oh, he gets the nade.
Nice.
Oh, hits one at least. Very nice value.
Hitting the O2. That's a big target. That's huge value. Abyssal Breaker from San, but it doesn't actually get the knockdown. They're looking to see if they can take down Blink. Blink having barely any health, having no heat, but they still survive. Divine Intervention going to bring him back up in the fight as long as they're making sure they can stick it. Now with the Fusillade on each side. Blink, he has to wait it out. They're hopping over the lava, but he couldn't keep it. Luca had to get away. Low health. The train barely missing Wyan. He survives, and now it's just down to 2 of TSM. Luca and Little Meep up against MTB, and they're looking for the bunny. It's rabbit hunting season. Little Meep now, do you have enough for a crown? It does not look like it, so it doesn't look too hopeful here for TSM. MTV playing patiently. They waited that whole time, and now the 1v3 for them. The crown up in the north. Little Meep has grabbed it. He might be able to drag them out into the storm, get some kind of miracle onto them, but Kaizaru's gone over their heads, looking for the dunk, missing the pull, not getting him into the storm. It's his own storm he rot, and that's going to be MTB, 4th game victory.
Very, very nicely done by MTV. Very nice and calculated play as well, actually. In basically every circumstance, you know, Kazaru and San had very good synergy there in respect to kind of getting the hook and then the Abyssal Breaker consistently, as well as the stuns as well. You know, they played the patient game very nicely. The squid right at the last second to hit Luca as well to confirm the kill with that mini root. You know, everything was very surgical right at the end by MTB. It's really, really nice to see.
Exactly. All right. I think I'm going to have to call the stream for me today, because I need to get to Pokemon Worlds. It is getting a little bit later than I was hoping. So, I was hoping that we'd get more of the games done, but I need to be there by, like, 2 o'clock. So I gotta start getting ready for that.
Dude.
So I'm gonna send over the host your way. Thank you for joining me, Samiri, as always. So,
thank you very much.
Have a good rest of the stream. I hope the games are exciting, guys. I will catch you all. I don't know if it'll be this weekend, because I'll be at Pokemon Worlds pretty much most of it.
Yeah, maybe next week or something along those lines. There's not even any scrims on Saturday anyway for EU, surprisingly.
Okay.
So,
yeah, well, there's going to be the tournament next week, so for any players that haven't already, make sure sign up. It's going to be the Mage Hunter the Mage Hunter event. So it'll be another fun one. I'm trying to do it for all 3 for APAC, EU, and NA. So if we get enough teams, as long as we get 12 for each region, we can do all 3, which would be huge.
Yep. Make sure you just get Spro to post the form into Super. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we'll do. All right. But thank you, Samiri. I will see you later, and good luck with the rest of the stream.
All right. Safe travels.